Hey guys, Jonathan here, and in front of me is every single LEGO Marvel CMF figure that's ever been released. We have everybody from Series 1 in 2021, everybody from Series 2 in 2023, and all of the new 2025 Across the Spider-Verse minifigures. Now, a couple years ago when Series 2 came out, I did a comparison between the two series. And how I did it was by pairing them off by how they are listed on the checklists. So every series has 12 minifigures, and of course, when you get a minifigure, there's a checklist inside showing you all 12 figures that can be inside. Well, now that we have 3 series, I wanted to make it fair, so the first figure in each series will be paired off, then the second and the third, and so on and so forth. As we go through each series, they will be ranked first, second, and third place. Now, depending on the place that they get will depend on the points that they earn for their series team. So, for example, whoever wins first place will get 3 points, whoever wins second place will get 2 points, and whoever wins third place will get 1 point. Whichever series is able to bring in the most points will be declared the best CMF series of all time. Of course, it's objective because these are my opinions, but maybe you'll agree. You can let me know in the comments. As we go through, I'll have this score sheet where I'm keeping score of what team gets what points. After the 6th figure, we'll check in at halftime to see who's in the lead, and then when we get to the end, we'll tally it all up and see who the big winner is. So without further ado, let's get right into it and start comparing these figures. So starting off round 1, we have Scarlet Witch from Series 1, Agatha from Series 2, and Miles from Series 3. Interestingly, all 3 of them were lead characters in their own productions, which is pretty cool, and it is pretty crazy. Right off the bat, this is absolutely stacked. Now, for Scarlet Witch, she had those doll-molded arms with her shoulders and the red gloves, which looked so good. Hip printing, toe printing, so much good stuff going on there. She also had a reversible head with a smile on the other side, and that tiara being molded into the hairpiece was so revolutionary and awesome. Then, of course, we could lift that up and see a great torso print on the back as well, making a very memorable figure. For Agatha, she's a great figure as well. She has, I guess, the most accessories here. Scarlet Witch had 2 Power Blast, but she had 2 Power Blasts as well. Unfortunately, she can only hold 1 at a time, when the other hand is holding the Darkhold, which has the Scarlet Witch prophecy on a tile printed inside of it. Gonna go ahead and remove the Darkhold just so you can see all of that great printing on the torso that goes down to the dress piece with printing, which is awesome. She's got this big giant hairpiece here, and the winking face on the reverse side is beyond cool. It even knocks Scarlet Witch off of the platform. But she's got that purple cape as well, and when we lift up that purple cape, we even got printing on the back of the torso and even the skirt, which is pretty rare. So Agatha is pretty amazing. Then, of course, for Miles, it's an absolutely awesome figure here as well. You can see he got the print on the side of his arms for the electric blast that he has, which looks really, really good. He does have a head with a removable mask here, so we'll go ahead and flip that head around so you can see the reverse side. There it is with the hair, and then we'll remove that and put the mask on to show what he looks like when he's ready to swing into battle, and it's so great with that leg printing and everything going on. I do think he has the absolute lamest accessory, though, with the spider, and as I'm deciding who should be first, second, and third place here, unfortunately, I think Miles has to be in third place. Don't get me wrong, it's an absolutely amazing minifigure, but we've gotten lots of Mileses before, and he absolutely has the lamest accessory, so I'm giving second place to Agatha. Of course, this is the only Agatha minifig we've gotten to date, with that skirt having the printing on the back as well as multiple accessories, one of which is made up of 3 pieces. That is pretty phenomenal, but this is the best Scarlet Witch we've ever gotten, and I honestly don't know how LEGO could possibly make a better minifig than that. I mean, I'd love for them to, but for that reason, I'm giving first place to the Scarlet Witch. If that first matchup wasn't crazy enough, round 2 is maybe even crazier. We have White Vision from the first CMF series, Moon Knight from the second CMF series, and Spider-Punk from the Spider-Man series. Now, White Vision is pretty amazing, but with time, he's actually been revealed to not be super accurate to the show. I mean, it's a great minifig, doll molded legs, side leg printing, arm printing, all of that good stuff going on there. It is phenomenal, but not super duper accurate. We can lift the cape up around back to see amazing printing on the back of the torso. Really, really good stuff. And he has this computer accessory which shows the hex from WandaVision. It's cool, but it's not my favorite accessory. Meanwhile, Moon Knight over here is rocking and rolling. Maybe not quite as much as Spider-Punk, but anyways, it is really cool how Moon Knight has that phenomenal arm printing and leg printing on those doll molded legs. Just looks so good with those gray boots. And then, of course, he actually debuted this new hood piece up top, which looks great. We can lift that off to see he has the reverse side with Mark Spector's head underneath with those white eyes, and the cape lifts up to reveal even more printing on the back, making for an amazing minifigure. And that's not even taking into account he has that scarab piece as an accessory, as well as his crescent Moon Knight. And this figure came with 2 of each, so 2 scarabs and 2 Moon Knight crescents. Although, you know, really you should only have 1 at a time because you can only hold 1 at a time. But as a LEGO collector, it was neat to get all of those extra parts. Then for Spider-Punk, oh my gosh, this figure is absolutely amazing. He has a brand new hairpiece that debuted on this figure and will probably be exclusive given, you know, how zany it is and perfect for the character. And we can even turn that head around. You can see all his piercings and everything, which is so cool. And then, of course, we can remove the head entirely and put the Spider-Punk head on. And as if his unmasked look wasn't cool enough, man, he is rock and roll with that mohawk. It looks so good. I love it. Then, of course, we've got that great arm and doll molded leg printing on the side, a printed guitar that's exclusive to this figure. And overall, this one absolutely rocks and kicks some serious butt. But we got to rank them to distribute points. So I'm giving first place to Moon Knight. I'm sorry, guys. I just think Moon Knight is one of the absolute best LEGO Marvel minifigures ever made. But honestly, Spider-Punk is right up there with him, who is getting second place in my ranking here. And then, of course, Vision, unfortunately, comes in at number 3, getting only 1 point for this round. All right, round 3 brings us Monica Rambeau, Mr. Knight, and the Prowler from Spider-Verse. Now, these are 3 pretty interesting minifigs to go toe-to-toe. Even back in the day for Series 1, unfortunately, Monica was viewed as not the best figure in that series. It was great to get arm printing on her that's been very useful for various customs over the years, and her face is actually reversible, which is also nice for customs, and her nice little accessory there of the red helicopter from WandaVision is pretty cool, but not getting any printing on the legs, while accurate for the show, definitely makes it one of the less interesting minifigures in all the series all around. That being said, Mr. Knight is a great figure with that awesome head print and, of course, the suit and the pants being really, really cool for, like, other customs like Kingpin and Gentleman Ghost and stuff like that. Not a lot of printing on the back, admittedly, but nothing too crazy. But he does have the awesome accessory of his little fish tank and his batons, which are quite cool. Then we have the Prowler, and if you guys saw my review of the series overall, this figure really disappoints me because he's supposed to be like a deep, dark purple and black color scheme, and here he's like a pinkish purple. Now, that being said, it is a nice figure all around, getting that great arm print with those like cylinders around his wrists and things like that. The printing is absolutely immaculate. In fact, he also has this brand new hairpiece with the braids, and then of course we could put the helmet on, which is just as cool too and really upgrades the figure. But when it comes to ranking all of them, I gotta give the number 1 spot to Mr. Knight. I think that of these 3, he's the best. I understand a lot of people may say that Prowler is the best, but for me personally, I just can't get over the colors being as inaccurate as they are, so he takes second place, and Monica Rambeau takes third. Round 4, your contenders are here. This is the Winter Soldier from Series 1, Werewolf by Night from Series 2, and Spider-Gwen from Series 3. All 3 are very strong entrants, and let's start by taking a look at Bucky. Now, I love this Bucky minifig. Of course, it gave us the modern Captain America shield, which also came on one other figure we'll be looking at here soon. But it is a great minifig. Of course, he's got that phenomenal arm printing there that is probably the best arm print we've ever gotten on a Winter Soldier minifig to date. and just makes for a great minifig all around. He had the knife accessory. The head is reversible, as you can see, with an angry face on the other side, and it's a pretty good torso and leg print as well. Can't complain there. This is actually the head that I use on my Sig Fig, which is quite cool. Now, of course, jumping over to the Werewolf by Night, a little bit more of an obscure character. Honestly, kind of hard to believe we got him as a LEGO minifig, but Marvel CMF Series 2 gave us a lot of figs quite like that. So, really great minifig there. He has doll molded legs with the toe printing for the claws, and of course those green shorts. He also has furry arms and the bloodstone there, which looks good. And he actually also has a reversible head with a little smirk on the other side, which is pretty cool. And a great back print as well with all the werewolf fur. And then, of course, we have Spider-Gwen, who's one of the MVPs of her own series. Of course, I love this new hairpiece with it chopped on the side there. And, of course, the pink ends to her hair on the one side look really, really good. If we lift that up, you can see she's got the little eyebrow piercing there, and the head can be totally flipped around. And I love this one, too, where we can see the gap in her teeth. Just a phenomenal figure all around. As far as I can tell, I think the torso is exactly the same as the one from the Bodega set, but of course this one has a little bit better printing. Speaking of better printing, look at the arm printing and the doll molded legs with the shoes. Ah, so unbelievably cool. She has a little accessory there of a photo of her and Miles, and of course we can remove that head and put on the Ghost Spider, mask and hood to make for an amazing figure. Love the little dots around the eyes there to show some cell shading. And overall, when I'm ranking these ones, I gotta give the number 1 to Spider-Gwen. I'm giving the number 2 to the Winter Soldier, and number 3 to Werewolf by Night. Okay, round 5, we've got Sam Wilson, Captain America from Series 1, She-Hulk from Series 2, and Spider-Man 2099 from the Spider-Verse series. And man, oh man, this is one of the most competitive lineups of the entire thing. This is crazy. Now, of course, the Sam Wilson Captain America minifig is a fan favorite. I mean, look at those amazing wings. Red Wing could actually be detached from the back and placed on that stud. Of course, the wings move on the hinges there, which are incredible. Those doll molded legs with the boot printing look great. The shield, and of course, doll molded arms with print. Oh, man, this minifig was absolutely awesome. In full disclosure, one of my all-time favorite Marvel minifigures ever. It's certainly one of the best they've ever done, no doubt about it. Now, that being said, She-Hulk is a great figure too. Didn't really love the show She-Hulk, but I do love her in the comic books, so that does win some points back over. But this is based off of her show, which of course is pretty divisive. But check it out, guys. Doll molded arms. We've got these really cool accessories here with the Abomination case file and a phone call coming in from Wong. I actually want to remove those, though, because I think they kind of distract from the overall figure. If we take a look here, you can see she's got those doll molded boots with the amazing print on the torso and legs that is continuous there. Again, mentioning those doll molded arms. Bringing back the green hairpiece was incredibly cool, and we can flip around the head to show a little bit more of a confident smirk on the other side, and overall we just got so much print on this figure that it was absolutely immaculate. Then that brings us to Spider-Man 2099, yet another great minifig here, and I love this one. Now, we did get another Spider-Man 2099 based off of his comic book look back in 2019, but a lot of people missed out on that figure, so this one being available in a $5 CMF box is going to make him a lot more accessible to people. And, of course, he's got a reversible head with his sharp teeth showing on the other side, which is incredibly cool. Absolutely love that. On the back, you can see, oops, gotta move the camera with him. Remember, Jonathan. Then we've got this little piece here for his cape, which is actually translucent, which is really cool with the cape being made of like a plasticky material. We can lift that cape off to see a great back print there as well. And I guess while the head is off, I might as well flip him around and put the mask on, and the mask looks absolutely amazing. And of course, we have the little hologram there as the translucent orange piece. And I gotta be real with you guys, of all the matchups so far, I think this is one of the tightest competitions and hardest to rank. I feel like there's no way to rank this that I'm not gonna get somewhat cooked, but I'm giving the number 1 spot to Sam Wilson, and I'm giving the number 2 spot to She-Hulk. I know, I can see people typing in the comments already, but guys, the She-Hulk having dual molded arms, dual molded legs with printing, double-sided head, there's something I like about it like 5% more than the Spider-Man 2099. Let me know if you guys agree with this ranking in the comments, but in the meantime, we've got to get to round 6 next, and then we'll do a quick halftime score check. All right, round 6 is here. From Series 1, we have Loki. Series 2, we have Hawkeye. And Series 3, we have Spider-Man India. And interestingly enough, all 3 of these figures have little animal friends. Seriously, what are the odds of that? Wonder if LEGO actually plans that out. I'd be really curious to know. But regardless, of course, we'll start with Loki. I absolutely love his TVA coffee mug there. And when we flip him around, you can see he's got variant labeled on his back. And we get a reversible head with a very devilish grin on one side. We get that long black hair in the back. And when we flip him back around, he's got kind of a mischievous look on the front with hip printing and leg printing, which is awesome. And we get Throg, which is incredibly cool. As you can see, he could actually stand on a stud on his own, and he's almost like half of a minifig, if you will. Like, Throg is a legit character from the comics, so I think that that's pretty cool that they included him. Even if he had like 1 second of screen time in the Loki show, that was an incredible inclusion. For Hawkeye, a great minifig as well, getting doll molded arms with that great purple print that travels up the arm. I love the hairpiece that debuted on this Hawkeye figure as well, and we can flip that head around to see he's got like some scars and bandages going on there. He's got a bow and arrow with a quiver, but although it's accurate to the show, no leg printing, which, you know, even though it's accurate, it definitely makes him less, you know, printed compared to everybody else here, which is pretty wild. Now, then, of course, over here for Spider-Man India, what a great minifig, guys. We get the Spider-Cat as his accomplice. He's got a little teacup there. And then, of course, we get that amazing, amazing minifig. Now, of course, he's got the printing on the arms, which is phenomenal, and doll-molded legs. In fact, I want to lift his mask up there so that you can see all the printing on those legs, which just looks absolutely amazing. Then, of course, we got to talk about the head, which is a double-sided head and looks absolutely awesome. So we can flip that around to see he's got like more of a fighting face on this side. And then, of course, the entire head can be removed and replaced with his spider mask, which before I put the hair on, I'll give you a quick 360 so you can see the blue headband is printed on the back there as well. And then we add that luscious hair there, and that looks absolutely awesome. Now, I really thought I knew what I wanted this ranking to be going in, but after seeing them side by side, I think I gotta give first place to Spider-Man India, second place to Loki, and unfortunately, third place to Hawkeye. But that brings us to halftime, so let's tally up our scores. Alright guys, we have made it to halftime. How we feeling? Feeling good out there? Let's take a look at our handy-dandy score sheet and see how we're doing. In third place, we have Series 2 with 11 points. Gotta step it up, guys. In second place, we have Series 1 with 12 points, only leading by 1 point there. And that means in first place, we have the new Spider-Verse minifigures at 13 points. So, 13 points, 12 points, and 11 points. It is still anybody's game. So let's see how we do in the second half. All right, we're back from halftime, and as we can see, it's still anybody's game. Now, this is round 7, where Series 1 gave us Sylvie, Series 2 gave us Kate Bishop, and Series 3 gave us Cyborg Spider-Woman. Well, it's not Series 3, it's the Spider-Verse. You guys get it. Anyways, Sylvie, unfortunately, I would say, is the lamest figure here, and that's coming from somebody that loves Sylvie myself. Now, of course, we did get those great printed arms. I'm not quite sure that they're dual molded, but they might be. I think they are. Huh, how about that? Anyways, great arms there with printing. Of course, the head is reversible, and I love the hairpiece with the broken horn and the green sword, and we even get a little Loki alligator, but they didn't give it the crown, it's just an alligator. I'm gonna set him aside, actually, just easier. But, yeah, I mean, right out of the gate, I think it's pretty obvious that Sylvie is the lamest one here. Now, that being said, gonna move Sylvie aside just for a second so we could get a better look at Kate Bishop and her amazing printing here, like the printing on the side of the leg, which is absolutely amazing. Then, of course, the printing on the front of the legs, and even, like, her little weapons printed on the side of her leg. That's incredibly cool. She has arm printing there that looks great, and, of course, just like Hawkeye, the head is reversible where the other side shows a little bit of battle damage. And then, of course, she's got Lucky, the one-eyed pizza dog over here, which is a great accessory. And speaking of accessories, she also comes with a Hit the Spot pizza box on a 2x2 tile that's printed, which is really, really great. So I'm going to remove those, and just for fairness, add Sylvie back to our lineup here. And, of course, we've got Cyborg Spider-Woman, who I really don't jive with this figure. I think that based off of what we saw in the toys, and even the, like, 1 second she's on screen in the movie, this really needed to be like a big fig, or certainly bigger than just a regular minifig. But it's still a great figure with the arm printing, the dual molded legs with printing. It's very post-apocalyptic, and it's a great looking figure. It's just not one that super excites me, especially compared to the other ones. So that leaves Sylvie in third place, Cyborg Spider-Woman in second, and Kate Bishop in first. Round 8 will be our first and only round where it's Spider-Man versus Spider-Man, which is pretty rad. From Series 1, we have Zombie Hunter Spider-Man from the Marvel Zombies episode. Then from Series 2, we have Goliath, aka Bill Foster from the Avengers in the 80s episode from What If Season 2, and Sun Spider, of course, from the Spider-Verse. Now, guys, I mean, come on, this Spider-Man, I would argue, is the best LEGO Spider-Man minifig ever, with the phenomenal arm print, the great back print, too, dull molded legs with side leg printing that's been useful on so many Spider-Man and even Superman custom upgrades, a great torso on the front that is the same design they used at the Disney parks, which is cool, and the best Tom Holland likeness we've ever gotten on a minifigure. And if that's not enough, the face also was reversible with a scared face, and if that's not enough, we also got a Spider-Man mask that could be placed on here, and interestingly enough, this Spider-Man head ended up being the one that they used on all the MCU sets for years and years after this, which was quite cool. As if all that wasn't enough, he also came with a rope spider web with studs on the end, which made for awesome swinging play and just so beyond cool. Which made for awesome swing capabilities and play and was so cool. Now that brings us to Goliath, who of course is in the center here. He has the newer style Ant-Man helmet with amazing blue printing. Speaking of which, check out the printing on those arms. Holy smokes, man, those look great. We've got dull molded legs yet again, with leg printing on the sides, knee pad printing, and all of that good stuff. Then we can lift the helmet up to show Bill Foster's face underneath. Great for Luke Cage customs and all that. He came with a hairpiece so he didn't have to be bald, and the face was even reversible. And if all that wasn't cool enough, he also came with an Ant-Man microfigure, who technically wasn't accurate because this is the Endgame suit for Ant-Man, and it should have been like the Michael Douglas version of Ant-Man from like the 60s, as we saw in the movie, or I guess that'd probably be more like the 70s or 80s. Anyways, doesn't matter. Really, really cool regardless. And then Sun Spider, great minifig too, debuting the new backwards hat piece as well as the crutches, but overall, even with the great arm printing and the leg printing, I do think that Sun Spider is the least cool of the ones here. Doesn't mean it's not a great figure, it just means he's up against some really tough competition. I'm giving first place to Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, second place to Goliath, and third place to Sun Spider. Round 9 is Zombie Captain America from Series 1, Echo from Series 2, and Spider-Byte from Series 3. Well, I'm sure it's not much of a surprise who's going to win this round. Zombie Captain America had 2 different colored doll molded legs with printing on the sides to show his suit being tattered and ripped up and torn. I'll go ahead and lift up his shield so you can see the printing on that boot as well, which looked so good. Speaking of which, both arms had unique printing, again, kind of showing his tattered zombie state. Really, really cool, including the damaged shield. The torso was perfect for an endgame, battle damage Captain America. Then, of course, we could lift up the helmet and see he had printing on the front and back of the head to show he's zombified, and a battle damaged helmet really completed the look here. Echo in the center, also a great minifig. Doll molded arms with printing on both sides, looking absolutely awesome. She had a hairpiece here with printing on the braid, which was really cool. We could lift that up and see, you know, an angry face on the other side. And one of the real highlights here is the prosthetic leg, plus printing on said prosthetic leg. Now, to be honest with you guys, I only watched the Echo show once when it came out, and I genuinely do not remember what her accessory is supposed to be. It's just 3 Lego pieces put together. If somebody knows in the comments, I'm sure they'll let us know, but I genuinely do not remember what that was supposed to be. And for Spider-Byte, this is a really crazy figure with translucent arms and legs with printing on both, which was pretty amazing. Pretty unique color there too. She's got her little spider tablet there, which is translucent with printing on it, and a brand new helmet piece with her kind of like buns in the back. And then of course we can lift that up to see a blue head underneath, which looked awesome. And we also get the buns up top here with this as well, and it looks great all around. But when it comes to ranking the figures, I'm sure it's not a surprise at all that Zombie Captain America is taking the first place spot. Second place will go to Spider-Byte, and I gotta give third place to Echo. All right, we are in the home stretch now with one of our last matchups, round number 10, Captain Carter versus Beast versus Peter B. Parker and Mayday. Man, this is one of the craziest matchups because all 3 figures were among the best from their own series. So how do you even rank them against each other? Well, we'll start with Captain Carter over here. She's got her amazing British flag shield, which if we move to the side, you can see she also has absolutely amazing doll molded legs with those printed boots and the toe printing on the boots, as well as a phenomenal arm print on both sides, which honestly, this figure is great on its own, but it's also helped upgrade all of our Captain America minifigures as well, which is quite cool. Speaking of Captain America, she also comes with a 2-brick tall Tesseract there, which is cool with that kind of like glowy space effect to it. Of course, she's got that 1940s style big hair piece there, which is cool. And we could flip the head around to show she's got a more serious look on the other side, which just looks phenomenal. Now for Beast, it's crazy. You know, Beast is referenced all throughout the X-Mansion set, but he didn't even come in that set. So you had to get him from the CMF, and by the time the X-Mansion came out, the CMF had been retired for over a year. So pretty crazy at that point, but his accessories are pretty amazing. He's got a coffee cup there with the X-Men X logo on it, as well as a multiple brick built little microscope there, which is cool, examining some kind of green petri dish. I'm gonna remove that just so you can see the great printing on the legs. There's no side leg printing. I don't know that it was really even needed here, but the white claws on his toes, as well as the great printing of his pants there with the X belt look great. He does have a completely unique hairpiece with kind of the swept back blue hair, which we could flip around to show his other side that doesn't have glasses on the head with a very angry looking face there for fighting, or he's got his professor glasses on there that looks awesome. Then for Peter B. Parker, man, I've wanted this minifigure literally since the first Spider-Verse movie, and it absolutely delivers. He's got a little carrier around his neck for Mayday, and of course, we could take Mayday out of the socket and see that it's just a little baby piece there, which is quite cool. Gonna set her aside as well as take off the bracket so we can see all of the great printing on Peter B. Parker. Really cool that he has his pink night robe on there. It's really funny. He's got his slippers, doll molded legs, which look really, really great here. And then, of course, we could actually flip the head around, and I actually think I like the confused expression better. It just looks so great and translated into Lego form so well. Now, like I said, this is a crazy matchup because I would consider all 3 of these figures among the best from their respective series, but I gotta give the number 1 spot to Captain Carter, number 2, second place to Beast, and number 3 to Peter B. Parker. All right, round 11 brings us T'Challa, Star-Lord, Storm, and the Web-Slinger with the Spider-Horse. Now, T'Challa Star-Lord was an awesome minifigure, of course. From the What If series, he had a very unique helmet here, of course, T'Challa's version of the Star-Lord helmet, and we could lift that up to see a great head for Chadwick Boseman underneath, and we even got a hairpiece, so if we wanted to remove the helmet, we could continue play. He had very unique Star-Lord blasters that were light silver, as well well as doll molded legs with the incredible boots printed there, which were so cool. For Storm, another great minifigure, but very similar to the one that came in the X-Men Mansion. So unfortunately, I think her cool factor was lowered quite a bit. The best part here, of course, was having the printed legs, which the X-Men Mansion version didn't have. And of course, this one had that amazing mohawk, and we get that really cool textile piece there for her cape. But the fact that basically the same minifigure came in the X-Men Mansion definitely deducts some points from how unique this one was. Then we get the Web-Slinger from the Spider-Man series, where we get Spider-Horse. Not really sure why the horse needed a mask, but still pretty darn cool. Then, of course, we get the Web-Slinger himself, who has a very cool rope there. Of course, it's like his lasso, and crazy enough, the lasso can actually fit a minifigure in it. Okay, maybe I always pick the wrong minifigure to illustrate this with, but you can put a minifigure in the lasso, which is pretty cool. Then, moving on to the figure itself, we got some incredible printing here. So, let me show you. He's got a textile here on the side with a spider print on there, which looks really cool. He has doll molded legs, which look great. Then, of course, he's got a great torso print, very cowboy looking with the belt and everything going on there. Then, of course, we can move that brown hat and twist the head to the side to see he actually has a unique Spider-Man head print as well. So, very cool with that figure. All three are great, but I have to put Storm in third place, again, because of how not unique she is anymore. Then, I'm going to go ahead and give the Web-Slinger and his horse the second place, and T'Challa Star-Lord gets first place for just the amount of detail that went into that figure, as well as the awesome doll molded boots, which helped so many of us upgrade our regular Star-Lord minifigs as well. And that brings us to our final matchup. Warrior Gamora, Wolverine from X-Men 97, and the Werewolf Spider-Man. Now, Gamora is phenomenal. Doll molded arms with the green up top and then black on bottom with all of that great armor printing that continues onto the torso and legs, even a detailed back of torso print as well. We get the pink highlights in her hair and a double-sided head with a little bit more of a inquisitive fighting look on the other side, and we've got her giant sword there, very reminiscent of what Thanos uses. Wolverine from X-Men 97, oh my gosh, such a great figure. Now, when I was talking about Storm in the previous one, technically we also got a Wolverine just like this in the X-Men Mansion as well as the X-Jet. However, unlike Storm, I would say that this one was a major upgrade because he had doll molded legs with printing on the sides as well as printing on the arms, and this one came with the unique Sentinel head accessory. So while you could make the argument that this is pretty similar to the other sets, I would say this one is definitively better because it offers significant upgrades from the one we got in the set rather than just a swapped out hairpiece, as well as, of course, those printed arms that we get here. I just think that the Wolverine in this is superior to the one from the sets, whereas the Storm one is pretty darn close across the field, but let me know what you guys think of that. Anyways, we can lift up the mask to see we've got Logan's eyes covered there, but we also got a hairpiece for him, so we could just have Logan without the mask if we wanted, and I don't think the hairpiece came in the X-Men Mansion or the X-Jet as well, so it's actually pretty fascinating we got that here. And Werewolf Spider-Man doesn't come with any accessories, but is amazing having one doll molded arm with the blue sleeve there, and then the other is just completely ripped off. He's got the spider mask on, which is pretty funny. I think it's pretty obvious he's Spider-Man by the rest of it, but the mask really helps sells it and makes for a great minifig with different doll-molded legs, just like Zombie Captain America from before. And as we go ahead and rank these, it's no surprise that I've got a lot of love for Wolverine, placing him in first place, placing Werewolf Spider-Man in second place, and Gamora in third. Well, that brings us to the end, so let's tally up the total and see how we're doing here. Series 1 has 26 points. Wow, holy smokes. Alright, Series 2 has 23 points, and the Spider-Verse series also has 23 points. Oh my gosh, so Spider-Verse and Series 2 are in a tie. I guess that means we're going to have to do a tiebreaker, but don't worry, I've prepared for that. So for our tiebreaker, we're going to do a best of show, where the best minifigure from each series goes head-to-head for a final knockout. The rules will be the same. First place gets 3 points for their team, second place gets 2 points, and third place gets 1 point. So I think it's fairly obvious based on my reactions who the MVP players are going to be. The MVP from Series 1 is going to be Sam Wilson, Captain America. From Series 2, we have Moon Knight, and from Series 3, we have Spider-Punk. Now, I don't want to be the one to decide this, so on my YouTube channel, I posted a community post and let you guys vote on who they'll be. So let's jump in and go toe-to-toe to find out who our ultimate winner is going to be. So that brings us to our final tiebreaker matchup. And of course, this is the best of show, which is my favorite minifigure from each series, and definitively, I would say probably your guys too. And that, of course, is Sam Wilson, Captain America, Moon Knight, and Spider-Punk. Now, we looked at all three in this video. All three are strong contenders for the best of show, but based on the YouTube poll that I asked from you guys, the winner was Moon Knight in first place, with Sam Wilson in second place, and Spider-Punk in third place. So let's round out this video with our final total and call it a day. Alright, well, now with that decided, our final points tally is, in third place, the Spider-Verse CMF with 24 points. At second place, we have Series 2 with 26 points, and in first place with 28 points is Series 1, the reigning defending champions. Well, needless to say, this was very close. It could have been anybody's game, so obviously all of these points were so close that anybody really could have been the winner. It just came down to how the chips fell. But let me know if you guys agree. I thought that this was so much fun, and hopefully we get another Marvel series in 2 more years, and we could do a 4-way shootout then. That would be even crazier. This video has already taken forever to shoot and forever for you to watch, so thank you guys so much for your time, and I'll see you guys on the next video.